out. Shut it out immediately. Hi guys, my name is Angela and welcome to my channel. This channel is all about self-improvement. So if you're interested in improving yourself, stick around. Today's video is going to be about self-love and specifically using self-love affirmations to harness this concept in your life. The idea of self-love has been put on this pedestal, like you have to be working tirelessly at it every hour of the day and such, that I felt that this video is necessary to correct that mentality, because what it is that there's just a specific aspect of self-love that you as an individual are struggling with that you would have to address, and not to generate the entire concept. Because fundamentally, as individuals, we have self-love. We are born with self-love. That is how come the idea of selfishness exists in the first place, that concept exists. Because you can't be an individual and not have a single ounce of love for yourself. Otherwise, as soon as birth, you would have, let's say, ended your own life. But the fact that you even care about your life, the fact that you even care to be here, you care to be alive, is an example of the self-love you possess, fundamentally. Another example is in instances where, let's say you've had a lazy day, you've been sleeping all day, you wake up and it's 4 p.m. in the afternoon, late afternoon, and you're starting to feel guilty. You feel guilty, you're sad, you're upset about it, you're worried, your conscience is eating at you. Why do you feel guilty? It's because you love yourself enough to know that this character is detrimental now or in the long term. And so you're upset that you are causing yourself this harm. You only feel sadness or, guilt over things that you care about, over people that you love. If something detrimental is happening to them, you will be sad. In the same way, something supposedly detrimental happening to you as an individual, that, to make matters worse, you are causing to yourself, makes you sad. That being said, the concept of self-love is broad. It's not just having self-confidence in your appearance, and so that box is checked. No, there's the physical aspect to it, and there's the mental aspect to it. The mental aspect to it, we can see in things like learning to prioritize yourself, learning to put yourself above other people's expectations, other people's opinions. All these things constitute self-love. So if you're a people pleaser, then you know you are falling short under the umbrella of self-love. You know you are falling short in this aspect. You get what I mean? So it makes it easier and more approachable to address the topic of self-love if you know the specific area you have to deal with. Using myself as an example, right? When you look at my wall, the affirmations that I have on that, I'm blessed, I'm focused, I'm worthy. And these are very specific, curated affirmations to my specific needs, right? Somebody else would have, I'm beautiful, I'm loved, I am happy, right? So it's very, very specific. So these are the specific areas that the person finds worrisome and wants to address. So it's not this huge, insurmountable concept. It's just the specific aspects of it that you should know need your attention and know how to address them. Things like lacking self-discipline, procrastination, laziness, and all of that. These things also fall under the umbrella of self-love. These things, laziness, for example, is something that in the long run will cause you so much harm than good. Likewise, lack of self-discipline, lack of commitment to your goals. These are things that over time are detrimental to you in the long run, right? Allowing procrastination and such to dominate over your life. So if you're somebody that has self-love and you know that these are the things that I can do to make myself better, to reach my ideal potential, and you're not making any effort to achieving these things, then it means that under self-love, you are not loving yourself enough to do what it takes to make yourself a better person. So you see, the umbrella of self-love is a very, very big one that encompasses all of these things, right? So if you know that you're somebody that lacks self-discipline, and at the same time, you want to achieve great things in life, then you know what to do. You love yourself enough to know that I have to correct this thing so as to achieve my goals, so as to attain my goals. That being said, the main way that I want to look at for this video in how to harness or improve your self-love is through self-love affirmations. I choose to define affirmations as language, emotions, or actions that are intentionally used to train the mind to believe or to change the mindset of an individual from one of less desire to their desired mindset. That being said, what are some of the affirmations? Like I mentioned earlier, you need to do a thorough, in-depth internal scrutiny of yourself to know where you fall short and make your affirmations based on those. So if you know that you're somebody that struggles with, let's say, confidence in your appearance, then you have to be training your mind to accept the fact that you are beautiful. Likewise, if you're somebody that you don't think you're worthy, tell your mind that you are worthy. That's the first step. You do the internal scrutiny, you make the list. That's one. Two, make it in the present tense. So you're not going to say, I will be beautiful. I will be worthy. It's now. It starts today. I am beautiful. I am worthy. Two, believe it. Say it with utmost conviction. Say it like you are very aggressively instructing your mind that, hey, this is what it is. Because the mind can easily wander, especially in instances where you've unconsciously built this idea so much so that it will just creep up into your mind that
I know you're not ready.
you know all those negative thoughts that try to shut it out. Shut it out immediately. You get what I mean? So affirmations I see are not things that you just one of the ways obviously is to get up in front of the mirror and tell yourself. But outside of the scene, the idea I want to put across is that it's not limited to just I wake up in the morning and it's part of my morning routine to say positive affirmations in the mirror. No. Throughout your day, if funny negative thoughts try to come to your mind, you shut it out with a positive affirmation. For instance, let's say you go for an event and you see Oprah Winfrey, for example. So you think, oh, Oprah Winfrey, I want to approach her. I want her to be my mentor. I mean, whatever the case may be, you want to approach Oprah Winfrey, right? What do I keep saying Oprah? Once you make your first step, that thought will creep up in your mind.
What if she tells you off? Or don't bother going to disgrace yourself?
You
It's
told you
like,
to fuck up. And typically what happens is that once that happens, you just retreat. And no, henceforth, having watched this video, when such thoughts creep up into your mind, you shut it out. For example, I don't want you to go and talk to Oprah Winfrey. I am. In your mind, obviously, you don't want to be shouting on the street. You say, in your head, I am. I am worthy. I am worthy. Or you can say, that's not true. And it happens and it literally becomes quiet in your mind. It literally feels like you just shut up an irritating person who keeps spilling nonsense. Try it. If negative thoughts try to creep up in your head, literally just say, that's not true. I am worthy. It's a lie. I'll do it regardless. Well, it will suddenly go quiet in your mind. And these are all positive affirmations. So it's not just the I am beautiful, I am blessed, but it's also the that's not true. I deserve good things. I'm worthy to talk to her. You know, it's also these things. And any time of the day you feel like you need to give yourself a confidence boost, what's stopping you? Do it. Do it. I mean, even if it means your next door neighbor can hear you, put on with other people's opinions, right? Do what you think is best for you. But of course, in a reasonable way. So, to summarize, let's look at an action plan using positive affirmations to change a negative mindset or to improve an aspect of your self-love. First step is to do an internal scrutiny of yourself to see the areas that need fixing, to see the mindsets that need changing. When you find them out, put them on paper. In putting them on paper, you are writing them in the present tense. You're not going to say I will. It's not future tense. And you sure as hell ain't going to say I was. You was. So you was. So First one, internal scrutiny. Second, put them on paper in present tense. So that's self-love affirmation journaling. I'll talk more on that in a separate video, so look out for it. 3, every morning, stand in front of a mirror and say these things to yourself. Say these things to yourself every morning. It's important because the mind is such that it feeds you back what you give to it. So if you are giving it negativity, it's going to feed you back that negativity. And in giving it negativity, it doesn't necessarily mean that you yourself are giving your mind the negativity. No, it's external forces. That's why it's important the people you keep around you and the kind of energy they are bringing. It's important the content you consume. I watched a little documentary. I don't know how true it is though, but I watched and I heard that in China, the feed that comes up on especially children's social media is just, you are great, you would achieve good things. Motivational videos are the things that come up on the feed. So it starts to shape the children's mindsets right from infancy till they grow. So they grow up knowing they are this way. So those funny instances where you try to do something in your mind, or they wouldn't have that as much because they don't have those funny mindsets. So they wouldn't have anything impeding them from taking action. What that leads to is them being very bold, them being very confident. The difference between a confident person, or let me say a bold person, and a timid person is that the bold person does not let negative thoughts in their head determine their action. They just do what they want to do, regardless of the. But a timid person is such that before they can take the action, in their mind will say, let's say you're in a bus and somebody has stood up to advertise something and he's disturbing everybody in the bus, and you have a genuine reason why you want to tell him off, right? And before you can attempt, your mind will say, sit your ass down. A bold person would hush that thought before it could even come and just get up and tell the person off. A timid person would attempt, the mind will say, sit your bloody ass down. You ain't gonna do nothing. Then you just sit back down. Timid. It happens in the classroom, it happens in lectures, you name it, happens everywhere. But if you can start changing that mindset, you wouldn't be in the situation where your mind will conjure such restrictive negativity in the first place, because it comes from somewhere. The mind didn't just by itself bring that up. The mind started to acquire that kind of mindset unconsciously through kind of information you give it, the kind of food you feed it, essentially. That is one of the ways. Also, because the mind is a protective mechanism in its own right. It's a protective mechanism. Essentially, it's trying to protect you. So it's sort of, in a millisecond, scans all the possible scenarios. And the scenario that it believes can be harmful, it brings to your attention so that you'll be aware or alert. But the thing is, we as individuals don't construe it as such. We don't construe it as it's one of the possible things that could happen. No. Once we get the from our mind, we just look at it as that's what would happen. Then we fail to react, or then we believe it. Then it starts to shape your person. It starts to shape your personality. You get the drift? So by saying these affirmations early in the morning in the mirror, telling yourself every single morning, you are changing that mindset. You are feeding your mind positivity. And eventually, it will start to be ingrained such that you wouldn't even have such negative anymore, or it would be very minimal, or you would better know how to control it, right? So, yes, say it in the mirror, and as you go by your day to day, anytime you have these self doubts, negative thoughts, shut them out and take action anyway. Let's say it's the Oprah Winfrey example. Worst case scenario, you take action and she does tell you off, which she wouldn't, by the way. Well, at least you tried. At least you can give yourself a pat on the back by knowing that you've attempted. Since you've had the confidence to attempt today, you'll attempt tomorrow. Tomorrow. Like they say, motivation comes from action. It's not the other way around. It's not you need motivation to do action. You need willpower. to do action. When you get motivated, in between motivation and the action is willpower, right? So it's not so clear cut as much as once you've taken the action, you are more motivated to take that action again. You get what I mean? That being said, that ends today's video, guys. Thank you so much for sitting and taking time off to listen to me talk, to listen to me rant. I'm so grateful for that. If you found any value at all from this video, please do subscribe for more valuable content like this. Hit the notification bell so that when I post things like how to make a self-love journal, you can get notified and come watch it. For now, it's ciao.